Hello, good evening, and welcome to Thingamajig's Racing Channel. And we are going to try for the third time to cover the Full Throttle Touring Car Championship by F.T.R. rounds 4, 5 and 6 at Kyoto Driving Park. Yes, we had internet woes on Friday night's live stream. So we're gonna do it off the replays. Screw it, we're doing it off the replays. But before we get into that, this is an ode to touring cars. They've got the British touring cars. They've got their liveries. They're using the Mazda 3 and the Hyundai Elantra. And they are racing a season with each event having 3 rounds in it of around about 20-minute races. They're lap counted, which is great for me because I don't really like the timed ones. But yeah, they're roughly about 20 minutes. They've got to use a set of hard tyres. The standard is mediums throughout the 3 races, but for one of the races they must use a set of hard tyres, and they keep a chart. They keep an eye on things. You can't use it more than once. I mean, you can't use it on the same race each week. You have to alternate. So we're here for the rounds 3, 4 and 5, our second racing weekend in this new format. And I can report it's going better than F1. Yes, it was a cracking first lot of rounds, and this is your table after those rounds. E. Graham is at the top on 50 points. Then we have McEwen in second on 45 points. Edwards is third on 41 points. Willows is fourth on also 41 points. New is fifth on 32 points. Wadwick is sixth on 32 points. Sharp is seventh on 29 points. Pointer is eighth on 29 points. A. Bell is ninth on 26 points. Swan is 10th on 23 points, I think. Hopefully. I'll get to the end and hang on. Let me get something flat so I can put it up against. 'Cause there's no lines between them, and I think I've gone off the... Let me look. Swan, I said, 10th with 23 points. S. Bell is 11th on 15 points. Ellis is 12th on 11 points. Fisher is 13th on 6 points. Schowler is a no-show so far. And nor is McIntosh on 0 points. In the teams, Napa Racing is at the top on 91 points. Team Virtue are second on 70 points. Laser Tools Racing is third on 55 points. Unlimited Motorsports fourth on 45 points. LKQ Euro Car Parts is fifth on 41 points. Toyota Gazoo Racing is sixth on 35 points. PMR is seventh on 32 points. And WSR is eighth on 11 points. They qualified for at least 10 minutes. It was 10 minutes. And so we can have a look at what the grid looks like. So JW slaps it on pole after his win from the last round. He is using the Racing Soft tyres. So he has a small advantage, but only slight. So JW on pole and looking to keep that winning feeling on the go. E. Graham, our championship leader, is second on the grid in the Mazda. Then we have McEwen, also in the Mazda, on the medium tyres, in third. Groot has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. He has come. And he is fourth on the medium tyres. Then we have Dash, fifth on the medium tyres. We have Sklid, sixth on racing hard tyres, and that is quite an achievement, ladies and gentlemen. A great qualifying session by Sklid there to get himself up to sixth on racing hard tyres. Evil Dragon, seventh on the medium tyres. Then we have Ash Bell, eighth on medium tyres, ahead of Dre, who's on the medium tyres. Then in 10th, Wadwick is on the medium tyres, with Hawkeye 11th on medium tyres. Swan is 12th. He's opted for the hard tyre. And Gaz Monkey is 13th on the mediums, with Unbelievable Jeff in 14th, also on the medium tyres. That is your grid, ladies and gentlemen. And we are on the precipice of some fantastic racing. So let us get off in more ways than one. So JW getting himself ready. The lights are out and it's a go here at Kyoto Driving Park, Yamagawa. And it's a great start from E. Graham. E. Graham taking an early lead and McEwen following him through. This is devastating for JW. It's fallen to pieces off of the line, and now he's going for the attack though on McEwen around the outside. Great racing there from both involved. E. Graham though with the lead ahead of now JW as he gets himself past McEwen. McEwen ahead of the Groot, but the Groot is right in the thick of the action. JW looking to get a move done on E. Graham. No, he's too far back. But McEwen very close. McEwen getting the move done on JW. It looked like JW maybe he'd just gone a little wide there. It looked like he was going for a move on E. Graham there, and but too far back for that, and it's cost him time because McEwen now side by side struggling against the high and dry on soft tyres. At the moment is McEwen chasing down E. Graham, the championship leader. Groot in 4th. Then we've got the Dash in 5th. We've got Sklid in 6th on those hard tyres. Again, a move by JW. JW back in to 2nd place. No, he's gone wide. He's gone wide, ladies and gents. McEwen pulls forward back into that 2nd place, and JW has got to get his head in the game. He is losing out there. Groot in 4th, went a bit wide, but Dash has got himself a Sklid issue, and Sklid up and in to 5th place on those hard tyres. And he is absolutely slapping, ladies and gentlemen, on those hard tyres. Driving like they were a set of mediums. Dash then back in 6th. He won't like that, especially as his teammate is up there in the top 3. So Dash then going for the move up the inside of the Napa Mazda, and has he done it? It's still not definitive. No, Sklid still ahead. Sklid just slightly ahead of the Dash and Dre. Let's not forget about Dre. He's coming in fast with his high and dry. Ash Bell in 8th. He's ahead of the Dragon at the moment. Evil Dragon lining him up, weighing him up, measuring him up for a move. One feels Evil Dragon closing in. And now he pulls the trigger, ladies and gentlemen. He's up alongside. He's going for that inside line into the corner. He doesn't quite snatch it. And oh, Ash Bell made avoiding. He looked like he got scared of the Dragon and jumped off the track. He's still ahead though. And Evil Dragon must have lifted to allow that to go. Dash Sklid still at it. The Dash up to 5th now. And the Dash then up to 5th place ahead of the hard-tired Sklid, and Dre is involved in this action. Let us not forget about the Dre. He's gone a little wide there, but he's got a nice distance ahead of Evil Dragon, but he's lost it. He's lost distance to those ahead of him now. He's out of that fight for the time being. Groot still in the thick of the action up there in the top 4 with McEwen now in 3rd. JW starting to get those racing soft tyres in action as he takes the fastest lap of the race so far and chases down the championship leader E. Graham. Exciting things to come here. With Dre now in 7th, we've got Evil Dragon in 8th. He's got himself past the Bell now, but Ash Bell looking very feisty, very fighty today, and I think he's going to go on the attack of the Dragon. Hawkeye in 10th, solid drive for Hawkeye. Looked like he struggled with the Hyundai last round at Lago Maggiore, but here at Kyoto Driving Park, he is on it. He's ahead of the Laser Tools team, Swan on those hard tyres, looking like he's struggling at the moment. Gaz Monkey getting through. Gaz Monkey having a bit of a lightning early race here, starting from the back row, and now he's up to 11th. I believe we lost Waterwick along the way. It wouldn't have announced it while we were live. It announced that Waterwick, his computer turned off. So Roderick not making it to the end of lap 1. Unbelievable Jeff struggling with pace in the Mazda. It looks like he's got the hazards on, so I'm not sure if he's even in the cockpit at the moment. E. Graham leads from JW with McEwen in 3rd place, Groot in 4th, and Groot is looking very, very racy. Missed out at Lago Maggiore. I think he was stroking his pussy, and so he's already down on points, but he's up here at his first event, giving it some big, large ones. And E. Graham in trouble up ahead. It looks like JW is now starting to harass and harangue him. Call HR, there is an issue. E. Graham, though, we know, we've seen in the past, great defensive driver, knows where to put his car to make it just too awkward to overtake. As you saw him just slip it out to the middle, and JW's trying to have a sniff up the inside as we see McEwen going slightly wide out of the corner. Groot closing in rather swiftly. JW then having another look, having a sniff and a whiff at the fresh air alongside E. Graham, but E. Graham placing his car perfectly at the moment, middle of the track, elbows out, and yes, giving just enough space for JW to manoeuvre, but not to manoeuvre ahead of him. So E. Graham keeps the lead, JW up his chuff all the way. McEwen and Groot having their own battle further down, with Sklid in 5th still. Oh no, Dash has dropped back. Dash has dropped back, and now Evil Dragon has decided to go on the attack as he drags Ashbel along with him, and the Dash in trouble at the moment as Dragon tries to maneuver past him. Not enough grunt out of the corner, getting the slipstream. He's going to go for the late break. Having another look. Oh, the late break is not applicable here, sir. And the Dash keeps it ahead as Bell also wants to get himself involved in this situation. And what a situation we have as well. E. Graham still leads from JW. Oh, a big wiggle there from the Sklid, and that's an invitation, if ever I've seen one, for the Dre to just pass on by. But Sklid not giving up the position too easily. Dre still staring at the back of the Napa car, nearly 3 wide here between the Dragon, Dash and the Bell. Unbelievable racing, very close indeed. There could be some pro sim racer tears before the end of this race. Oh, the Dash giving little or no room through the chicane there. Evil Dragon having to concede places. Bell in 9th. We've got Hawkeye in 10th. He's easily ahead of the Gaz Monkey. Hawkeye doing a 44.6 last time out. Gaz Monkey a 44.9. So Hawkeye still with the advantage in that situation. Swan trying to stay on to the end of the back of the pack with those hard tyres and struggling in the high and the dry against the hard tyres and a very tricky track, it has to be said. Unbelievable Jeff has still got those hazards on, but the times are falling, they're dropping. Rob in the chat saying a very good morning to you, sir. How the devil are you? I don't know, I'm having a massive feeling of deja vu, Rob. So E. Graham ahead of JW at the moment, and again McEwen going extremely wide out of that corner. He really slings it in there, doesn't he, with no care whatsoever about the exit. JW is crawling all over the back of E. Graham, but he has been for a few laps now, and he's lining him up, but E. Graham Absolute pain in JW's side at the moment. JW off the back of the win from the last round, wants to keep the feeling going, and E. Graham is the fly in his ointment at the moment. And a little lag situation there for McEwen, and he closed right in. Absolutely, they slowed each other very much down, and now JW sees an opportunity. Looks like E. Graham must have made a mistake in the chicane, because they've both, the two behind have closed right in, and E. Graham just clinging on there against JW, and JW getting very impatient in second place. Is he going to go for a punt and make some very unhappy people? McEwen closing back up to those guys ahead, with Groot on his tail, as he has been throughout this race. Very close up ahead. The top four are bumper to bumper, and no one can call this one. No one can call the win in this top four. Extremely tight. Sklid, an amazing job on those hard tyres in 5th place, with the Dre hunting him down. Dash is back ahead of the Bell. The Bell is ahead of the Dragon. There has been issues down here. Evil Dragon has lost out somewhere along the way. The Bell now is in 8th. The Dash in 7th, closing in on the Dre. And Sklid safe at the moment because they're battling behind him. It's still tight in the top four, with E. Graham leading, but JW really fancies the pieces to get through. Can he do it? He's tantalising. And what? Oh, E. Graham. He had to back off out of that one. For some reason, JW just about gets ahead, and now E. Graham's been overtaken by McEwen. E. Graham in all kinds of trouble now behind the Groot. And E. Graham, he must have late braked, or he got caught out somewhere in that quick chicane. And now he's staring down at the top 3. Sklid in 5th, not that far behind. If anyone falls off the track, he is there. Dre is still ahead of the Dash. The Dash looking like he's backed off a little bit since we last saw them. Bell ahead of Evil Dragon. We've seen Evil Dragon get past the Bell once before. Can he do it again? He will try, god damn it. Hawkeye in 10th place ahead of Gaz Monkey. He seems to have this one in control. I say that as he has a big wide on out of the corner, and Gaz Monkey sees a target. Swan on those hard tyres, he's just persevering. He's just taking part. And Unbelievable Jeff definitely back in control now with a 48 and a 53. But he is getting dangerously close to the leaders. They're coming up behind him. JW then leads the race. McEwen in 2nd, Groot in 3rd. Groot trying to defend against the defender. And E. Graham, he knows all the tricks. He looks up the inside there, a tantalising space on the inside of the Groot. Oh, and it looks like JW's made an error. He has erred. To err is human, and JW very much human at the moment, as McEwen gets through and into the lead, and JW now sniffing the exhaust pipe of the champion. Groot wanting to get by the high and the dry, as E. Graham there in 4th place, remembering what it was like to lead, as McEwen having a go at it concurrently. Sklid still in 5th, still safe. Dash has got himself past the Dre, or has he? Because the Dre looks like he's coming back in for the attack, but Dash trying to defend him off for the time being, and they're both off the road, and Dre picking up a very mucky tyre there. The Bell as well under pressure from Evil Dragon. Then we have Hawkeye still keeping Gaz Monkey at bay, and doing his fastest lap time of the race so far for Hawkeye. Gaz Monkey 44.5 though is very similar. So Gaz Monkey chasing him down still. Swan isn't that far away. So he's struggling on those hard tyres. He's keeping his toe in. Unbelievable Jeff now has been caught by the leaders. JW looking to get through briefly and quickly, and he does. So JW now through, and McEwen losing the lead there somehow, some way, to JW. I'm not sure if we should go back and look. Groot in third with E. Graham very close behind, and I think they've all cleared Unbelievable Jeff, as Sklid giving him a flash saying, come on, get out of the way, get out of the way. It's hard to get out of the way in this section, isn't it? And Sklid now stuck behind Unbelievable Jeff, and Sklid then still trying to look for a way through, and it's very much now Dash has had an opportunity to close very much up to Sklid, and Sklid struggling on the hard tyres to get past the back mark. Well, he's not a back marker, he's just had a few bad laps at the beginning of the race, and Sklid does get through, but Dash has closed up to him unbelievably. Dre now clearing Unbelievable Jeff, and he's through. Evil Dragon and the Bell battling side by side through the corner, and Evil Dragon just about getting ahead, only just though, and the Bell will be lining him up as they come down the straight to go on the attack again. Looking at the outside of the Dragon, the Bell goes for the move, and it's side by side again from the pair of them, but Evil Dragon just ahead in 8th place, and Evil Dragon getting tricky there to overtake for the Bell, but the Bell so much closer again as they come up the hill. Oh, real big trouble. Hey, is in the chat saying good morning thingy, good morning Vrogarob. Been a while, I hope you are well. I hope you are well. It has been a while, I haven't seen you in the chat. Hope you're good, man. Hawkeye in 10th, and Gaz Monkey still chasing him down, but Hawkeye a 44.2. He's really getting some good lap times in as the race. Oh, we're on lap 10. We're on the penultimate lap already. How's it going up at the front? So JW still leads 41.8. He's managed on those soft tyres. McEwen very close behind in 2nd place. E. Graham's made his way up to 3rd. He's got himself ahead of the group. Unfortunate for the group there, losing out to championship leader. And Dash then ahead of the Sklid now. Dash ahead of the Sklid, and Dre fancies the same. He fancies the same. Sklid on the hard tyres doesn't have much to... oh, and he has. He's got a little something because he's just nipped it past the Dash. Unbelievable racing we're having here as Dash, Sklid and the Dre all go at it. Evil Dragon ahead of the Bell. And this is the final lap. If the Bell has anything to come at the Dragon with, this is the time, this is the moment. As Eminem says, you only get one chance, so don't lose it. Rob saying, I'm good, thanks. RBT, how are you? JW, or Lose Yourself. Sorry, not Lose It. That's a different song. JW then in the lead, looking comfortable now. No pressure on this final lap. McEwen just following him through, almost hit the curbs wrong there, got a bit of a wiggle on, but he's still holding on. E. Graham in 3rd, Groot in 4th. We've got the Dash ahead of Sklid, but Sklid's giving it all the beans he's got left. Up against the Dash here, it's not going to be an easy position for the Dash to finish in. Dre in 7th, and again there goes Sklid up the inside of the Dash. Did Dash late break it? No, he's back ahead of the Sklid. The Sklid off of the road, and I don't know if Dre helped him there as the leaders come up the final corner, and JW, ladies and gentlemen, is getting that winning feeling with his 2nd win in a row. And Willows now is going to be a big name in that championship. McEwen comes home in 2nd. E. Graham manages to fend off Groot there for 3rd and 4th. The Dash gets himself 5th. ahead of Dre in 6th. Sklid comes home in 7th. Evil Dragon ahead of Ash Bell in 8th and 9th. Oh no, Hawkeye. Hawkeye's had a moment on the final lap. He's very close to someone ahead of him. Who's that? Oh no, it's Unbelievable Jeff, and he seems to have got himself off the road, and that's given Gaz Monkey an opportunity to get up ahead, and Hawkeye will be absolutely beside himself. Gaz Monkey in 10th, then Hawkeye losing out at that position, 11th, and the Swan finishing in 12th, with Unbelievable Jeff finishing in 13th. And Unbelievable Jeff, someone's going to have to tell him about the radar. The little radar you can have. It lets you know where cars are. A super job then by JW Willows. There's whispers of championship abound around the paddock. 2 wins in a row. Someone's looking big. McEwen in 2nd, with E. Graham backing it up with a podium. Championship leader racking up the points. Groot in 4th, with Dash in 5th, Dre in 6th, and unfortunately Sklid losing out on 2 positions there at the end of the race. And he'll not be happy about that, but still 7th on a set of hard tyres, and one of the only front runners to use the hard tyres so far. It's looking good. He can be the media. He can use mediums for the rest. Don't think JW has to use hards because he's used the soft, but everyone else is yet to use the hards ahead of him, as is Evil Dragon and the Bell. Gaz Monkey getting that position off of Hawkeye. Swan's got his hard tyres out of the way, so he's one to watch for the rest. Right then, let's move on to round 5, ladies and gentlemen. They start as they finished for another 11-lap race around Kyoto. A really grey Kyoto, it has to be said, doesn't it? It's not been a pleasant weather for them. Grey and dull. There's some sun because there's reflection. All right, let's get all the information up. We'll have a quick rundown just to see who's on what tyre. JW starting at the front on the mediums. We've got McEwen opting his hard tyre this round. E. Graham staying on the mediums. Groot going for the hard tyre. Dash has gone for the soft tyre. So the Dash is looking racy, ladies and gentlemen, from 5th place. Dre on the hard tyre in 6th. Sklid, who's used his hard tyre, has opted for the medium. Evil Dragon is on the hard tyre. The Bell is on the hard tyre. Gaz Monkey has gone for hard tyre. Hawkeye, a medium set, with Swan using his hards, is on the mediums. Unbelievable Jeff is on the hard tyre. And Wadwick returns and goes for the hard tyre. Let's catch up with the chat and then we'll get our race on. Real Big Trouble saying, good to hear you are both doing okay. I'm getting by. Cheers, Rob. Still trying to balance seizure meds, so racing hasn't been possible for a while. I'm missing the sim racing culture somewhat, to be honest. And Real Big Trouble saying, the weather has added an interesting feature to watch, to be fair. So, here we go then. Are you ready? Are you braced? Let's get it on, as Marvin once said. So, JW on that pole position. It should be straightforward. McEwen's on the hard tyre. The tyres, again, another terrible start from JW. It's unbelievable. McEwen on the hard tyres. E. Graham sneaks through. And JW down into 3rd. Groot in 4th. Dash on those soft tyres. And again, the tyres won't be quite up to temperature yet. But the sun is out a little bit more in this race. So the track should have a bit more temperature in it. E. Graham now in the lead with McEwen down in 2nd on those hard tyres. JW still holding on to 3rd, but everyone is behind him. Sklid finds his way through, and Sklid trying to get back into winning ways here. It's 3 abound as they bang the doors. They are banging doors, ladies and gentlemen. Groot on the outside. It's going to be some pain here for someone. Groot's had to take to the grass. And my words, And Dash has got himself ahead of his teammate JW. He's on those soft tyres. He needs to get a win. He's seen his teammate win twice now, and it's just not on. Sklid in third, McEwen in second. McEwen on those hard tyres, clinging on, playing let's hold on to the top as long as I can. And he's opening a lovely gap out for E. Graham. The more he keeps the guys behind him, E. Graham, it plays into E. Graham's hands lovely as E. Graham disappears into the distance. And now Sklid looks to get a move done on McEwen. So does the Dash. The Dash's tyres will be absolutely sticky extreme now. And the Dash will be really enjoying a good amount of grip in the corners. And McEwen and Sklid go side by side along the straight. And Sklid does get ahead of the hard tyre McEwen, as does the Dash around the outside. And McEwen then, it was inevitable. He would not be able to announce the Dash going up against the Sklid. And Sklid then off the road, and that hands it to the Dash. The Dash on those soft tyres now. He has to chase the mountain down, ladies and gentlemen. He's got the soft tyres, he's got a bit of clear air, but he's got an E. Graham down the road, a championship leader. So McEwen then back up into third, back ahead of Sklid, as Groot in fifth with, and don't forget Groot's on those hard tyres, doing a fantastic job staying with the leaders. JW slipping even further into sixth, with the Dre on the hard tyres in seventh, and Dre and Evil Dragon duking it out, the hard boys. Both of them on hard tyres, and the Dragon goes for an easy move up the inside, and he sneaks that one through, and that's the Dragon up and into seventh, as Groot now loses out to JW. JW remembers he's a pro sim racer and goes for the move on the hard tyre. Groot all over the curbs, can unbalance the car, and now he's got problems from Evil Dragon, having a sniff and a whiff, not even a sniff and a whiff, just an easy pass on the Groot. And we saw the Groot hit those curbs very hard, and it must have unbalanced the car, because Evil Dragon just absolutely swan past him like he was not there. JW then up to fifth, and we've got a side-by-side action here from McEwen and Sklid. Sklid around the outside, his tyres are a bit stickier, a bit more adhesive, and McEwen then loses out to the Napa Mazda. Dash still chasing down E. Graham, who's enjoying a little bit of a chilled moment out there in the lead. Does he have Mika Hakkinen's helmet? It looks to me like Mika Hakkinen's old helmet, but I can't be sure. I'm no expert on these things. Let's get on. It's probably not. So, sat on board with the leader at the moment in his Mazda, staying calm, trying to keep everything in organised. And he's still got that lead on the Dash, but we know Dash is on the soft tyres and is chasing him strong and hard. We've got Sklid in third, we've got McEwen in fourth, JW in fifth, then Evil Dragon ahead of the Groot, and Dre, let's not forget about Dre, is circling like a shark, circling the pond, as Groot looks for a move on Evil Dragon. Evil Dragon goes a little wide. Evil Dragon goes a little wide, giving up a bit of ground to the Groot, and the Groot then tries to close in. Is that Hamilton's car? Rockets. The Rocket, Black Rocket. Was that what Hamilton was in? The slow Hamilton. The Winderlicker one. Evil Dragon in seventh, the Dre in eighth, Swan in ninth. We haven't had a look down at what's going on down here, have we? And Swan at the moment, in the high and the dry, is it's got a bit of a gap from him and the Dre, but he's doing fantastic job ahead of these guys. Bell in 10th, being chased by Hawkeye and Wadwick just behind him. But Wadwick on those hard tyres. He's taking that pain now so he can have a strong last race. Gaz Monkey also on the hard tyres in 13th, with Unbelievable Jeff in 14th. But doing a lot better than he did the last time. I think he had to nip off at the beginning of the first race. I think he was paused doing those late 2-minute lap times, because he's doing 49.8s. Absolutely beautiful. So E. Graham still in the lead, but the dash has closed that gap immensely. He's taken the fastest lap. He's gone for the move. He wastes no time whatsoever, and the dash catches his man and gets by him. E. Graham left sat scratching his head. Those soft tyres, they are great. The dash through then, with E. Graham in second. We've got the Sklid in third. Good points for Sklid, with McEwen in fourth, being chased by JW on those hard tyres. Can JW gain a spot before the end of the race? We've seen a JW season with the 2 wins, and a top 4 would be fantastic here. He doesn't have to use the hard tyre this round. So close eye on JW as his teammate leads the race, and Hyundai would have, if Dash can pull this off, high and dry would have won the last 3 races, which leaves Mazda scratching their head somewhat. No, Sklid's off the road. Oh no! Oh my gosh! Something major must have, no, because they're not even close. But Sklid has a bit of an off. McEwen also has a bit of an off, and JW then pulls the trigger on that bad boy, but he's around the outside, and McEwen still says nay, like a horse. And McEwen then still holding on to that 4th place, and JW chipping away at the, is he the current champion? I lose track. I think he is the current champion. Does he have number 1 on his car? I can see a number 1, so sorry if you can hear my YouTube in the background, but I had issues last night. I'm starting to think the microphone issues were the internet issues, the beginnings of it. I'm not sure, because I didn't have anything on mute, and all I did was pull the mic out and put it back in, and then suddenly the mic was working. What a nightmare, Adam. You wouldn't believe the night I had last night. I changed from Virgin to, I can't remember now, Tube. And I have no issues with Tube whatsoever. I love them. I think they're great, but for some reason they shat the bed last night. They had issues. So, yeah, we had a dogged stream. We got through qualifying okay. I think we got through the first race okay. Then in the second race, the microphone didn't come on, and I hadn't realised for the first 5 or 6 laps. And I've got to say, that was some of my best streaming I've ever done whilst the mic was off. I was the funniest I'd ever been. I made a whole joke about Dash being Yuki if he couldn't catch E. Graham. He's the Yuki Tsunoda, but he got through, and then I was like, no, he's the Ricardo. He's the hero. I may have even sung all the hero songs. E. Graham, though, is giving him some effort. E. Graham absolutely all over his rear derriere, and Dash cannot rest for a second. And then come the third race, the whole internet just absolutely blew out, and I couldn't get a stream up. I tried again, but everything was showing okay, so it was so weird, because I was watching YouTube, because I had to stay in the lobby to get the replay, and I was just sat watching another YouTube thing whilst I was in their lobby waiting for a replay. And it didn't buffer at all, so I have no idea what was going on. The Dash then at the moment dealing with E. Graham. Graham all the way up and in his chuff, but Dash isn't letting it deter him from the win that is on the horizon. But it could be too early to say. It's lap 7 of 11. So, you know, it's still a long way off that checkered flag. And E. Graham still might have a trick or two to pull on the Dash. Sklid Easy third place at the moment, no one even contesting him, with JW trying to stay ahead of the McEwen falling even further back now. Luckily for him, Groot's on the hard tyre also, so Groot not being able to close in too much on the champion for the time being, unless the champion makes a small mistake. JW, 4th place. I don't think he's going to catch the Sklid. He needs Sklid to make some big issue problems, and I don't think Sklid's looking to do that at the moment. Evil Dragon, happily ahead of the Dre. What's this? No, he's side by side with the Dre. I apologise. So Evil Dragon having a bit of a race down here with the high and the dry up his rear derriere, but I don't know, they were side by side through the corner, and my word, I don't know, I think there was contact. Evil Dragon looks like he nipped, the Dre looked like he nipped the Dragon there, and it plays into Swan's hands. He's like, your misfortune is my fortunate moment. He's not through yet though, but he's up alongside the Dragon, and yeah, it looks like Dre has pulled over, has he, as well, to let the Dragon through, and Swan's involved somehow. An innocent bystander is now thick in this drama around the outside. He doesn't want to be involved. Evil Dragon and the Dre still go head to head, but now Swan is involved. Hawkeye ahead of his teammate, the Bell. Great stuff, and Hawkeye, he'll be not wanting to give anything away in this race after losing that position due to the back marker. He's not a back marker, but you know, the car that was a lap down in that first race. So Hawkeye looking for a nice, clean, crisp finish. Ash Bell in 11th. Wadwick on those hard tyres in 12th, ahead of Gaz Monkey, who's in his hard tyres, and Unbelievable Jeff, who's also on a set of hard tyres. E. Graham's back ahead of the dash. OMG. How soon did that happen? I'm always hesitant. It might have happened like 20 minutes ago. Look at it. 40 seconds. It happened ages ago. Oh, God. Sorry, guys. It'd be nice to see it. Jesus, I'm not going back any further. He did it. He got past the dash. I've gone back nearly a lap, people. It happened a long time ago. We've got to get over these things. So Dash then back in the Yuki Tsunoda moniker. No, he's going for it up the inside of E. Graham, but we've seen the future, and we know E. Graham still stays in the lead. But we can get excited anyway. Any kind of racing is worth getting excited for, even if it's battery powered. I've heard Aston Martin are bringing out a new line of vibrators for ladies called the Honda. E. Graham leads this race with the dash in second, Sklid in third, with JW in fourth. We've got McEwen in fifth, with the Groot in sixth. And Evil Dragon in amongst it right now with the Swan and the Dre. This is exciting and tight. Oh, and the Dre getting moved on the Swan there. Side by side, Swan slips behind. And Evil Dragon is feeling very racy. All three of these on hard tyres? No. Swan's on medium, so he really doesn't want to be caught up in amongst this. He could be doing without it. He could be clearing these. He's faster than these guys. With the tyres he's got, it's just he's racing them, which is causing him a little slowdown. Evil Dragon at the moment defending everything. He's defending every part of the track. And Swan looking to get it moved on. Somewhere around the outside, a late break. Hold on to the outside. Hope those medium tyres stay in. And oh, no. It's lap 8 of 11, and we've seen domestic terrorism. I don't think it was on purpose. I think Dre was on the outside of the Dragon, and the Swan was on the inside of the Dragon, and three cars just didn't fit through there. And I think there was very small contact. Seemed a very big bounce for the Swan through what little contact there was. So Evil Dragon, but the Dre has come out of it winning winning. So, Groot. I'm trying to see. It's got Ryan on the front. It might say Hamilton on the front of that. So Dash is back ahead. Oh, wow. Back ahead of the Graham. These two are absolutely battling it out. Lap 9 of 11 as Sklid in third, ahead of JW. JW only just ahead of the McEwen and Groot combo. Both of them doing early 43s. Not as early as JW's 43s though. So JW seems to be quite safe in that fourth place against the McEwen and the Groot behind. But, oh no, JW doesn't have to use the hard tyre. He used the softs. So McEwen doesn't have to worry about that nasty hard tyre. And, not McEwen, JW I mean. McEwen's worrying about that nasty hard tyre now. And Groot there in sixth. Dre pulling away from the Swan and the Dragon. The Dragon comes ahead of the Swan. And Evil Dragon then rises again. Oh, but Swan's up the inside. Swan giving it some big ball activity. And Evil Dragon side by side for the two cars at the moment. And Evil Dragon on those hard tyres. Not a lot of grip coming out of that corner. And Swan fancies a run up the hill. Oh, but he's had to brake as he outbroke this. Oh, and he's up at the inside. And Swan then finds her through. And as they've battled, have the Swan and Evil Dragon battled, it's given Hawkeye an opportunity to gain ground on these guys. And now Hawkeye is right in it. And Hawkeye then trying to get through past the Evil Dragon on his inside. And Evil Dragon, those hard tyres, he could do without this traffic. He really could. He could do with just more concentrating on getting those lap times and not having to defend and lose time. Already you can see the Swan pulling away and trying to get back down to the Dre's level. Hawkeye then and Ash Bell just behind them. Teammates could work together here. I don't know how, but people say that. If Hawkeye can get in front of Evil Dragon, they can work together. But behind, I don't see what they could do. Again, Hawkeye fancying a late break on the Evil Dragon, but Evil Dragon has it seen off. Swan up into 8th now, chasing down the Dre. And has he got it? We're on the penultimate lap. It'd have to be very special. Oh, was Hawkeye lining up the Dragon then? I want to go and look around the pack. But this close, tight ass racing makes it very difficult to go anywhere. And now we've got a inter-team battle with the Bell closing right in on his teammate. Evil Dragon, does he fancy the Swan? Has the Swan made a mistake? We saw him starting to pull away from Evil Dragon, and now Dragon is back on Swan's case. Dre safe in 7th as he goes into the final lap. Swan is going to have to fight for this one because Evil Dragon is lurking and wanting that position back up at the top. We got the Dash still under a lot of pressure. E. Graham is still there in the vicinity. He fancies the move on the final lap. He wants to be the big goddamn hero, ladies and gentlemen, and who can blame him? Sklid looking for a podium here, and no one there is there to contest with him. JW hasn't shaken off McEwen whole race, and McEwen on those hard tyres driving above the limitations of that car. Groot in 6th. Dre is 7th ahead of Swan. Swan looks like he's gapped it out between himself and the Dragon. And then that inter-team battle between Hawkeye and Ash Bell becoming very real. Ash Bell having a look there, and the team rule is do not take each other out. So be very careful. Oh, someone's crossing the line, and it's not the Bell. It must be Unbelievable Jeff. Crosses the line to start his final lap. Dash comes up to take another high and dry win. Great stuff from the dash. Graham in second. Sklid rounds out the top three. A great podium there from Sklid. JW continues his great run of results for fourth place, ahead of the champion fifth. And then Groot comes home in sixth. Dre stays ahead of the Swan, but Swan did close in on the Dre. Oh, I bet the Swan would like to love it. Another lap. So Dre in seventh, Swan in eighth. Very tight between Bell, Evil Dragon, and Hawkeye did miss out there somehow. Oh no. And I'm sure Hawkeye doesn't want us to go back and look. So the Bell up the inside, legitimate move. Oh, and Hawkeye just went out a little wide. And that confirmed the Bell up ahead. And then the Bell goes on the attack to the Dragon. And Evil Dragon looking to walk out of this one in ninth place, I would say. Oh, and the Bell having a sniff on the very final corner. A little contact there, but not enough. Evil Dragon, no, Bell does get through. Bell does get through, but I think there may have been contact into that corner. So I'm not sure if it stands. Evil Dragon in 10th, Hawkeye in 11th. Warwick comes home in 12th on his hard tyres. Gaz Monkey also on the hard tyres, coming home in 13th points. 13th place. Every point counts is what I was thinking. In the chat then, hey, it's Chunky Ribena saying, what majig of a thingy is this? Bit of BTCC for you, or a bit of a BTCC replica. And Unbelievable Jeff then bringing it on home, but it's a better race than he had in the first race. So again, those hazard lights on makes you wonder if he's at the wheel. And Unbelievable Jeff then bringing it back. What a race. And the dash is certainly no Yuki Tsunoda, is he? He's more than match enough. And is that 3 wins for High and Dry with no wins for Mazda so far in the last 3 races? Oh God, it ran out of time. Sorry. Okay, we'll move on to the third race. I'm not going to go flicking all the way through it. Look, there you see the results up there. Dash with the win. And E. Graham in second, Sklid in third, JW in fourth, McEwen in fifth, Groot in sixth, then Dre in seventh. We've got the Swan in eighth. Oh, sod you, GT7. So we've moved on. We're going to the third race. It's going to be a reverse grid. Could you imagine if I just deleted that? I don't even know why I flicked down to delete. So, oh, look at that sunset, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be romantic. Let's get the candles out. Let's get a bit of Barry White on. Because this, we're going to get it, we're going to smooth this one out, ladies and gents. Oh, you're my first, you're my last, you're my everything. In the chat then, Chunky Ribena saying, hope you're good, mate. Yeah, I'm good, man. And yourself? Rob saying, hey, Chunky. Chunky saying, hey, Vodka. And Adam, oh, Real Big Trouble saying, Ribena, hope you are good, matey. And then, so here we go. We've got Unbelievable Jeff on pole position. With Roderick in second. It's a reverse grid. Medium tyres for both of them on the front row. So Wadwick could be a player here. Hawkeye in third. Oh, this is a rubbish view, innit? Let's do this view. Evil Dragon in fourth. Ash Bell in fifth. Oh, tyres, sorry. So Hawkeye's on the hard tyres. That's going to be a fight. That's going to be a fight for the Hawkeye. On those hard tyres. Evil Dragon, medium tyres, starting in fourth. Ash Bell, starting in fifth, medium tyres. Swan starts in sixth on the medium tyres. We've got the Dre starting on medium tyres in seventh. Groot on medium tyres in eighth. And then we've got McEwen also on the medium tyres in 9th. JW on the medium tyres in 10th. Sklid is 11th on the medium tyres. E. Graham has to go hards. He hasn't used the hards yet this round. So E. Graham on this last race going from the very back of the pack on hard tyres, or it's going to be a big mission. He has to put his Tom Cruise hat on. And the dash starts in 13th on medium tyres. That is how they line up for this final race here at Kyoto Driving Park, and it has been a fun couple of races so far. Let's hope for the last one to be a also blinding race as they get away. An Unbelievable Jeff, an absolutely fantastic start for Unbelievable Jeff. Roderick not being able to close in, an Evil Dragon sticking his nose in where it does not belong as Wadwick decides. Wadwick then in second, Evil Dragon in third. Then we have the Bell in the medium tyres. Poor old Hawkeye already losing positions on those hard tyres as the Swan comes through, and Groot is next. Someone's off the road, but they're back on the road and everything seems rosy. It's all okay. It's not. Look at all those cars. That is disgraceful. Oh my word, I can't keep track of that. So Swan in fifth. At the moment someone's off. Someone had a big off. I'm sure they did. Was it Hawkeye? Maybe. He was on the hard tyres. Dash has made up a position then, as he is on the back of E. Graham. E. Graham as well. Remember, those hard tyres, one of the laser tools had to take to the grass. He's going to have very dirty tyres. It must have been the Swan, and I imagine he's going to get a few cars slip it past him in the braking zone. And oh my words, it is tight. Evil Dragon now leads. Unbelievable Jeff in second. We've got Wadwick in third, trying to find a way past. Oh my God, a big one. A big one. Unbelievable. It's a big one for Swan. Swan and the Bell. Swan and the Bell having a big... Oh, I don't know. Ladies and gents, I honestly don't know. So, Bell there. Did he just lose? He's come back on the track. Ooh, I think he come back on the track, but there was a Napa car or something. It might have been Sklid. No, it must have been the McEwen was in his way, and I think that just sent him a little bit sideways. This is an absolute cluster of a bombshell. This beginning of the race as they try and work their way through the pack. Evil Dragon leads. Evil Dragon is the man to beat. An Unbelievable Jeff in second. Unbelievable Jeff having a great first couple of laps, but the Wadwick wants to relieve him of that second place. McEwen has met them at the top already with the Dre in fifth place. Then we've got Groot in sixth. We've got the Sklid in seventh. E. Graham on those hard tyres up to eighth already. The Dash following him through in ninth. JW in 10th. JW, second lap, so they're all getting purples. Hawkeye in 11th, playing survival on those hard tyres and gaining some good positions already, with Swan and the Bell both having a collision. I don't think it really was anyone's fault. I think the Bell just came back on the track, and McEwen was just there, and the corners clashed, and then he went sideways straight into the Swan. It's racing, ladies and gentlemen. It happens. Evil Dragon out there in the lead, having a banger. Roderick has got past Unbelievable Jeff. Groot as well, but McEwen, Dre, everyone is trying to fight for the same piece of road, and the Dre is off the track. The Dre is off of the track. And Evil Dragon then leads with Roderick in second, McEwen in third. And McEwen wanted to get some good points on the board against E. Graham. There's a championship we're fighting for as well. Unbelievable Jeff going a little wide there, giving up the position to the Groot and nearly taking Sklid into the shadow realm. Unbelievable Jeff. Honestly, the radar, it'll help you so much. The little circle with the blue dots on it lets you know where cars are. Honestly, it changed my gaming. when I first started, I online gaming, I took someone out and I said I couldn't see them. And then they said, why don't you use the radar? And it's a game changer. I promise you, Unbelievable Jeff, game changer. Evil Dragon out there in the lead. McEwen in second. Wadwick in third. Groot in fourth. Wadwick giving it his all against the Giants, and he's doing a beautiful job so far. Wadwick in a podium position, being chased down by the group. Then we have everyone else here. In fifth, we have Sklid. Dash having a great race. Look at him coming through from the very back up and into sixth place, and giving Sklid a lot to think about. Then we've got Unbelievable Jeff there in seventh. JW in eighth. E. Graham in ninth on those hard tyres. So E. Graham's lost a position somewhere in this last lap or two. Dre, yes, it was Dre, wasn't it? Because Dre had a bit of an off. Dre going up against Hawkeye on his hard tyres. Hawkeye having a very respectable race on those hard tyres, but the Swan and the Bell are both closing back in on Hawkeye, who could be, apart from E. Graham, the only one on the hard tyres. So not the only one, but one of two. Evil Dragon out there in the lead, still being chased by McEwen. Groot climbing all over the back of Wadwick. Wadwick could be in trouble here. Groot really fancies his chances as we cross the start line, and we'll sit with Groot for a lap. We'll try and stick it out a lap, because Kyoto is well worth a look. I think it's a good track. It's a tricky track. They're not corners you can just sling it into. You've got to brake. You've got to do all the stuff. This one, full leather up the hill in the Group 4 cars, over the brow, coming down to a big right-hander. Can carry some speed into it. Might have to cut a little bit mid-corner, then aim for the apex, aim for the curb, and go through as you take Wadwick as well. Very good from the Groot. Down the hill, heavy braking for the chicane. Try and straight line this bad boy as best you can. Carry as much speed through there so you can take it up the hill. And you can see McEwen and Evil Dragon just ahead, battling it out up to the very tight hairpin. Coming it down to second gear, riding the accelerator, misses, and then flooring it again as we go down the hill through the flying chicane. Little lift, little knockdown of gears, just try and not hit that wall. Back up, and then the final corner, another hairpin. Heavy on the brakes, second gear, and we do look closer to McEwen and Evil Dragon ahead. So the group starting to throw his hat in the ring, and that's a lap of Kyoto Driving Park Yamagawa, ladies and gents. Fun things. McEwen then going for the lead on the inside, and Evil Dragon just didn't have no defense against that one. McEwen just went for it, and Evil Dragon now down into second place, and being chased by the group. Roderick looks like he's got caught by the Sklid now, and Wadwick in free fall. Well, not free fall, he's going down very slowly, like those old sand things when you used to turn them over and then it would just slowly dribble down and make pretty mountain ranges. Sklid then up ahead of Wadwick. Wadwick down into fifth. JW and the Dash together on the track. The Elantra doing some beautiful stuff. JW ahead of his teammates, not the Yuki. E. Graham on those hard tyres in eighth, but being chased by the Dre. And we've seen that the Dre is no stranger to a bit of action today. So E. Graham, I don't think he's going to get away with some heavy defensive moves against the Dre. I think the Dre will just drive straight through him. He's like, screw that. You want to brake early? Then, oh! E. Graham dropped it. Don't know what happened. He was all on his own. No one near him. Just over the curb, it seems. So bizarre. So bizarre for E. Graham there. and he will be absolutely screwing in that car. And Hawkeye passed. So is the Bell. So was Swan and Dre. Dash but chasing down his teammate JW, and now E. Graham getting used to his new position down in 12th place, and Unbelievable Jeff in 13th, doing some very tidy lap times. Come on, Unbelievable Jeff, I'm on board. So McEwen is leading this race and starting to make an E. Graham right down the other end. That's some good points haulage we've seen McEwen get from Kyoto Driving Park Yamagawa, and E. Graham losing out. He was thereabouts in the first two races, but losing out in the third race. And yeah, it's going to be a tight championship after this round, ladies and gents. Evil Dragon, solid second at the moment, but he does have the skid closing in, who's just done the fastest lap of the race on lap 5, and the Groot is hunting him down also. Wadwick in 5th, that's it, he's dropped no further. He's doing a great job, but he has got the Virtue boys chasing him down. JW ahead of his teammate, not Yuki. Dre in 8th, being caught by the Swan. And the Swan going even faster again on board the Laser Tools sponsored Elantra. Chasing down Dre to see how he does. They've got the Bell and Hawkeye behind them, but there's a bit of space there yet. But yeah, one small off, and Bell's going to be right in your business. So Swan then hunting himself down a Dre. 43.0 last time around for Swan. Dre doing a 43.3, so Swan is a little bit faster. Dash and JW still duking it out there, trying to catch up with Wadwick. Wadwick doing a 43.0 his last time around. JW a 42.6, that's a lot faster. And Dash also a 42.5. So Wadwick, he's going to have to pick up the pace if he wants to stay ahead of the two winners behind him. Groot still keeping Sklid very honest indeed, and they've closed in on Evil Dragon. Evil Dragon losing a bit of time there. He's in the 43s, where the guys behind him are in the 42s, and Sklid really is on his case. He has the files. He's read through his data. And Groot just waiting to pick up what they leave behind. And Evil Dragon in trouble now in that second place as McEwen heads on into the distance. As the sun sets, he's like a cowboy riding off into the sunset. Evil Dragon still maintaining it. Showed Sklid was slightly ahead, but Evil Dragon just about holding on, and again Sklid getting a better drive out the final corner, goes ahead, and I don't think, unless Evil Dragon wants to brake as late as he can, he's lost that position. He's going for the late brake. Oh, mamma mia. And Evil Dragon then up and back into second. Sklid loses out altogether on the outside and drops behind the Groot, and Evil Dragon showing what he's made of. Oh no, Wadwick losing places to the JW and Dash combo, and JW and the Dash having lively seasons, fantastic seasons, both with wins. And I know they both use their soft tyre here at Kyoto, but it's a strategic tactical move, and it was a very good one on their behalf. So JW leads, he leads his teammate in 5th and Dash in 6th. Wadwick slipping behind him in 7th. He's ahead of his teammate, the Swan, who is being harangued and harassed by the Dre, and they both went to the grass there, and Dre gets ahead of the Swan. More movement up here. Roderick going back on the attack of the Virtue Elantras, and Everyone's saying hello to Chunky. Chunky saying, yeah, all good here. Busy DIYing, but not much else. And Adam saying, what a lovely sky for racing under. And the Vrob saying, I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride, and I want to dead or alive. Doing some Jovi, yes. I was trying to find the tune in there somewhere. So Wadwick had an off. We've just nipped back to have a look at what happened, because I just looked up and saw him on the grass. He's going for a move on the dash. Oh, he just really late braked it into the corner, didn't he? And the dash maintains. Can Roderick get back on ahead of the Dre? No, it's tight, it's tight, it's tight. Dre gets ahead of Roderick now. Unbelievable. Swan there as well to pick up from his teammate. And it's all going wrong for Wadwick here. Oh, Swan's gone very wide there as well. Ashbell not too far, but oh, he's taking the same line as the Swan. E. Graham has got himself back ahead of Hawkeye, but only just. And E. Graham still not in for a big count of points. Unbelievable. Jeff in 13th. Where's Gazman? Has he gone? I didn't even see Gazman throughout that. Where's Gazman? We didn't have 14. Who's... What? Am I tripping? Did we have 14? I can't even see Gazman. Wow. So McEwen leads, but we got 3 wide here. Group goes for the second place ahead of Evil Dragon. Sklid there as well. And I thought we had 13 all the way through this. I know we lost Wadwick in the first race, but we seem to have lost Gazman in this third and final race. I don't know how, why, or what. But Sklid then in 4th, and JW has closed in on this little group. And JW could be looking for another podium here. McEwen's disappeared. He's out. He's out of sight, out of mind, out of thought. And Groot then in 2nd. Evil Dragon trying to defend from the Sklid, but Sklid's got momentum coming up the straight. Oh, right, here we go. We've got some people in the know. Rob saying, I know most Bon Jovi tracks because my sister was a massive fan. JW saying Gaz pulled out before the race, and JW saying think had issues. Mummy issues or daddy issues? Who knows? McEwen then, probably internet issues. I had them. McEwen then is leading with the Groot in 2nd, Sklid in 3rd, Evil Dragon in 4th. JW is really making an impression on this season. And what a season he's had so far. And we're only in the 2nd event, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an absolute banger of a season so far, and we've only just begun. The Dash has dropped back from that battle in 6th, with Dre in 7th ahead of the Laser Tool guys. Wadwick ahead of his teammate Swan, but Swan looking to get a move done. We're on lap 10, we're on the penultimate lap. There's been more movement, has there not? JW? No. Oh, Sklid and Groot side by side. Evil Dragon in the periphery, looking to get back in, and it looked like Groot had lost it but gained again, and they're all off the track. Groot in 2nd, just ahead of Sklid. JW gets the move done on Evil Dragon. JW up into 4th place. This is unbelievable stuff from the JW as Evil Dragon tries to come back at him, but JW seems to have got the move done. The Dash in 6th. Unbelievable as they go into the final lap. McEwen has this all wrapped up indeed. He is miles ahead. Groot in 2nd, Sklid in 3rd. JW is 4th with Evil Dragon in 5th. Dash in 6th. The Dre in 7th. We've got Wadwick in 8th. We've got Swan in 9th. Bell in 10th. Graham in 11th. Hawkeye in 12th. And then unbelievable Jeff in 13th. McEwen though, oh, we got a way to go before the lead. What goes on here with the podium battle? Sklid's out wide, Sklid's out wide. Sklid hit the barrier. That's let JW up into the podium. JW, and now he's attacking the Groot. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The Groot in danger. No, he's gained it. No, Groot's got a wiggle on. And JW really is on the attack. And this season could be the season of the JW. Ladies and gentlemen, up into second place. But the Groot's still there. The Groot's still fighting for everything. He's got the inside line. And the Groot's still ahead. Oh, my gosh. Groot then in second, JW in third, we've got Sklid in fourth, we've got the Dragon in fifth, and the Dash right on the tail of them. But it's McEwen that comes through the final corner, and it's McEwen that heads to the finish line and takes the win. Fantastic drive from McEwen there, and a great event for him. Groot stays in second. Groot, his first event this season, and he gets himself on the podium with JW in third, Evil Dragon in fourth, Sklid in fifth, the Dash in sixth, Dre takes seventh ahead of Warwick and Swan in ninth. Bell comes home in 10th with E. Graham in 11th, and Hawkeye coming home in 12th place. Those hard tyres, no help for him whatsoever. And unbelievable Jeff on the mediums. I think we'll run out of time again, won't we, before he gets there. So McEwen takes the win. Groot in second. JW, another podium. Fantastic stuff. Evil Dragon in fourth. Sklid in fifth. The Dash comes home in sixth. He took a win this round as well. And oh, Mazda again, it has to be said, back to winning ways. So McEwen, great drive for the win. Groot in second. Ballsy drive. JW fighting every corner to finally get himself ahead of Sklid and Evil Dragon for the podium. Evil Dragon in fourth, ahead of Sklid in fifth. The Dash comes home in sixth. Dre gets seventh ahead of the Laser Tools guys of Wadwick in eighth. Swan in ninth. The Bell comes home in 10th. E. Graham in 11th. Hawkeye in 12th. And unbelievable Jeff, I think the time will run out before he gets there, so he gets 13th. Ladies and gentlemen, it has to be said, this has been a banging championship so far, and I'm looking forward to where we go next. I think it's I think a lot of these tracks are like not originals. You know, they're fun ones, pretend ones. I'm trying to see where it says that we're going next. If it's on here, quick before I go. It doesn't look like it. I apologise. I led you up a garden path. It's a good one, honestly. I remember seeing it and saying, "Oh, that'd be fun." Vodka Rob saying, "Cheers, mate. My pleasure." No, that says Kyoto. So no, I don't know where we're going next. But it's another pretend track, and it's another great fun track. Trust me. No, I'm not finding it at all. I apologise, people. And I don't know what I'll do with the other stream. I'll leave it up for a bit, because, you know, it was live and we were just talking off the cuff. But I'll probably delete it after a few days, because now we've covered it in this stream. Thank you for your patience. It has been emotional with the internet woes, but we got there in the end, and now I'm behind, and I've got to go to Milton Keynes today to take my son to ice skating. A match, so even less time, and a race weekend, even less time to catch up on streams. It's all fun though. That's why we do it. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to the Full Throttle Racing Group for putting on such a great event. Thank you for the Pro Sim racers that show up and put in their all and some great racing. And cheers to you guys in the chat and whoever gets involved in the stream. I appreciate you. I don't know how you put up with me, but thank you. Bless you all. And that's it for the time being. Adam, or Real Big Trouble, saying in the chat, thanks for the comms. I tell you, it is a pleasure. So that's that's everything. Next Friday, hopefully, touch my wood, that it's the live stream goes smoothly. I might even turn everything off and reset things and delete cookies beforehand, just to see. Okay, thank you very much. Tooroo. Peace and love. Peace and love.